First off, look, anybody that does not use any caffeine at all and they always have energy, they are winning. They're winning on all fronts of life, and I admire those people and massive respect. Personally, I find a little bit of caffeine, 100, 200, even up to 250 milligrams a day, the benefits definitely outweigh the negatives, especially if you do it responsibly. As with everything, it's all about moderation. I really only take caffeine before I lift weight, or if I know I'm gonna do like a heavy cardio session, like either hill sprints or sleds or something like that. But if I lift weight, I'll usually take anywhere from 200 to 250 milligrams. And I like to take that before noon, because otherwise I feel like it's gonna interrupt my sleep. And the cardio, I usually take 100 to 150 milligrams. So first off, you kind of have to know your numbers. And the reason I take that is because it gives me so much more mental alertness. It warms up your joints, it warms up your whole body, and it just kind of gives you an artificial kick in the butt to just do the things you don't want to do sometimes, especially for me personally. If I push sleds or hill sprints, you're not always going to feel like doing that, but just like 100 milligrams of caffeine can make all the difference. It just gets you over that hump, and then you do those first 1 or 2 hill sprints, and then you just feel amazing. So if that 100 milligrams of caffeine got me to do the hill sprints, it's totally worth it for me. I don't want to get like too much into science or whatever, but the way caffeine works, caffeine actually doesn't really give you energy. Caffeine basically causes the pathway to be blocked that tells your brain that you're getting tired, basically. And then your brain's like, whoa, let's go. Now, with that said, here are a couple tips on how to use caffeine. First and foremost, 300 milligrams a day, in my opinion, is the max you should take, even if you are 250 pound plus or you're 7 feet tall. 300 milligrams a day, that's a lot. Now, I say that, and right now you may be taking more already. That's just because you're so used to it. You need to wean yourself off of it. And actually, that was the first tip, right? 300 milligrams of caffeine. Tip number 0 is that if you are taking more than 300 milligrams of caffeine, you have to wean yourself off. Now, weaning yourself off, I don't even know if that's proper English, but getting off of caffeine, it sucks. And it's going to suck for about a week. You get off caffeine, the best way to do it, honestly, is just cold turkey. It's not like a crazy hardcore drug. When you do that, you're gonna have headaches, you're gonna have to drink a lot of water and just kind of know that you're not gonna have that artificial energy. So don't beat yourself up for being a little bit like, ugh. But if you fight through those first couple days, your body will start producing natural energy again, and that's when you're winning again, because caffeine should not be a full replacement for your full natural energy. It should just be a supplement to the natural energy that you already have. So that's tip 0, wean yourself off. Tip 1 is 300 milligrams caffeine per day. And by the way, most of those canned energy drinks like Bang and all that stuff, they have 300 milligrams of caffeine in just one can right there. So like, they taste great because it has all kinds of crazy chemicals, which you shouldn't be drinking. By the way, you should not be drinking those. Don't drink anything from a can, really, unless it's Zevia, Z-E-V-I-A, or yeah, that's really it. Now, tip number 2 is I recommend you don't take any caffeine 10 hours before bedtime, because the half-life of caffeine is 12 hours, meaning it takes about 12 hours for your body to really get rid of all the caffeine in your system. So I say 10 hours because 12 hours may be a little unrealistic, but if you take your last sip of caffeine 10 hours before you go to bed, then you'll be somewhat clean by the time you go to bed. Now, tip number 3 is that if you want to increase the benefits of your caffeine, add a supplement called L-theanine. What that is it basically prolongs the effects of the caffeine. It's kind of like when you add in chromium picolinate, your chromium picolinate will make your blood sugar not go chromium picolinate will make your blood sugar rise slower and go down slower. L-theanine will give you that effect on caffeine. It'll give you a more smooth bout of energy, versus if you don't take L-theanine, that energy of caffeine might be boom, and then you might crash hard as well. So check it out. A lot of pre-workouts now are adding L-theanine to their pre-workouts already, or you can just put it in your coffee and then really pay attention to the benefits. And then also, by the way, if you're drinking coffee, just always add cinnamon. Completely off topic, but always add cinnamon to any opportunity you can get. And the last tip is kind of related to the tip number 0 about weaning off, but the last tip is cycling off is a good idea. If you cycle off, meaning every 6 weeks you go 1 week with no caffeine, that's a really good idea. What that does is it's gonna keep your adrenal fatigue low, and it's gonna keep your tolerance so much lower so that you need less caffeine to get the same effect. So it takes a lot of discipline though. So good luck with that. Hopefully this helped you a little bit, gave you a little bit more clarity on caffeine. Caffeine is not a bad thing, guys. Caffeine will make you do things that you did not want to do, and those things that caffeine will make you do, as long as they're good for you, then it's only awesome.